Game number 1, another Meta Madness match, and we have Granit Gaming going up against Nothing Left, and this should be a spicy one. So again, to just reiterate real quickly, Meta Madness means that not only do we have 11 heroes that are banned for the entire tournament, determined by the community through a public poll that we held, but at the same time, every single hero that you actually see banned out in those series that are happening right now will be banned for the entire best of 5. Not for the tournament, but for the entire series that you see here. Which brings us to, in the final map, on the 5th potential map, to 41 heroes that will be banned out. Now, as I said before, we're going to keep track of all the bans that are happening in a spreadsheet, and the link is going to be in the YouTube description if you're currently watching this on YouTube. Keep in mind, you have to actually select the match at the bottom, of course. And Imperius is just hated today. Nobody likes Imperius. We've seen him actually banned as one of the earliest bans every single time. ETC gets banned too, and you might currently ask yourself, why would you ban ETC this early? And the reason is simply Lauber. He's great on ETC, it's one of his favorite heroes, so they're getting rid of it immediately. So there's of course a lot of pre-banned heroes. If you watch some of the earlier Meta Madness matches, you know that already. If you don't, then you can also look them up in that spreadsheet that I was already mentioning earlier. For a lot of you, it's probably only going to matter what's actually played that at the end of the day. But especially heading into game number 3, game number 4, game number 5, we could see a couple of crazy things. You gotta understand at the same time now, though, the concept of Meta Madness isn't necessarily to force the teams to play full Fiesta compositions. The idea behind it is more so to just widen the hero pool a little bit, make sure that the players have to also try and find new synergies, just deviate a bit away from the norm a bit, and maybe at the end up with playing compositions that we've just seen ages ago. We've seen Lunaras, we've seen Cassia setups, we've seen double support Valas, for example, a few times, Falstad twice now with Hinterland Blast, Garden of Terror was played. So we've actually seen a lot of variation here, with even Illidan making his way back into the meta, as we're now heading into the first map between these two teams, Volskaya Foundry. And the winner of this series is going up against Team Russia in the winner bracket final, which is another best of 5 that we're going to have on day number 2 of the tournament. Now Li Ming with a very early pick here again. Tai great on Li Ming, and she was one of the heroes that has been targeted a bit in those bans as well. We see Johanna for Lauber, and we see Rhaegar for Henning. Henning normally relying on his Tyrande, but guess what one of the 11 heroes is that was globally banned for the tournament? Exactly, Tyrande. And a lot of Overwatch heroes with that too. We're having not only Tracer taken out, but we have also Genji eliminated, Hanzo was eliminated, Zeratul, Maiev, so there's a lot that was targeted by the community. Heroes they just didn't want to see anymore. So with that said, we're having the next few bans coming in. Thrall gets actually eliminated on that offlane. This is actually one of the things that's pretty cool. From series to series that we jump into, it's different heroes that get targeted very early in those ban patterns. So in the first series we've seen actually a lot of Thrall being played. In the other series Thrall gets banned out super early. Same is true for Jaina. Some of the series she makes their way through and teams don't really acknowledge her a lot, in the bans at least. And then in another like this one she gets banned instantly because she's just so insanely flexible and can be played in nearly every composition. One hero that made his way through like all the time is actually Junkrat. Gets acknowledged sometimes in game 3 with a ban, but outside of that, Junkrat is still in that mid space where you don't really want to sacrifice a ban for it, but you're absolutely fine picking him and relying on him here. So with that said, we're having our final picks coming through. Rexa picked again. We have actually seen him played a little bit more, also from Team Russia in the earlier stages of Meta Madness, one of the first games. Greymane Malthael, alright. Svamgrota playing here again for the team. And the last pick on the tank role, the main tank role on the side of Nothing Left. What are we going to have this time? Still a couple around here, obviously. And it's Muradin. Muradin with the Storm Bolts is being picked here as we head into our first game of the best of 5. Nothing Left against Granit Gaming. Game number 1, Volskaya Foundry, and on the left side, Porty Boss with Rexa. Black Kidney playing Junkrat for Nothing Left. We're seeing Zdoon on Muradin, Linked on Alex Straza, and Guru on Reyna. They did a fantastic job against the Divine Vendetta earlier, but now they go up against Granit Gaming, who start on the right side with Henning on Rhaegar, Fury on Malthael, Svamgrota on Greymane, Tai on Liming, and Lauba on Johanna. It was actually kind of fun because Granit Gaming even had a scrim session where they tried to practice with the Meta Madness rules just to get a bit of a feel of how this would actually end up. And there's still pretty decent compositions that you can play with this for sure. And so far, we've had some fantastic games. We have Rexa, by the way, coming more and more into the meta here just in general. But this should be a pretty fun setup for the entire series, because both of these teams have shown fantastic plays. I honestly don't know who's going to take this here. Lauba and his boys have done so well in a lot of these tournaments lately, but then again, you've seen how well Nothing Left played. And it was kind of funny, because after they finished their previous Best of 5 series, I actually told them, listen guys, if you want to take a couple of minutes, if you just want to relax a little bit before you head into the next series, just let me know, it's totally fine, can give you a break. And Kidney immediately in the lobby was like, no, we're ready, are you, can we go? And I'm like, yeah, by all means, let's go in. But yeah, they just played a Best of 5 and they're like, nope, we're warmed up, let's make this happen. We don't need a break, we just want to go. And yeah, they're eager. They're really eager. They want to go up against Granit Gaming right now. So let's see how that works out for them. And once again, here comes the Stormbolt. Coming in. Stormbolt stacking so far 2. Slow, but we get there. Obviously, you go for the 2 turrets again. Try and make the play around the healing beacon here. See if you can take that at some point. But yeah. We're currently having, down to the bottom of the map, still the Polyboss Misha plays. And with Misha, the main question, or with just Rexa in general, the main question is what's the level 4? That's what we all want to know. Hunter-Gatherer or Animal Husbandry? Because once that you're taking Animal Husbandry, it's all eyes on Rexa. All eyes on Rexa. Trying to find out, okay, is he gonna fall, yes or no? And well, he goes for it. There's the Animal Husbandry taken right away. So we're gonna give you guys a bit of an idea of the hit point pool that we're seeing for Rexa. I'm gonna keep this up at the top left a little bit, just so you have a bit of an idea what's going on there. And in case that you're not familiar with the talent, there's a quick read right for you. So the extra maximum health for him, as long as he stays alive, which means that if you never die, he's going to become an absolute beast in the late game. So, per minute, he gains 120 health. So, you can do the math from there. It's going to be quite a bit if you keep that bad boy alive for the entire duration. But as it happens, he's the first one to fall. So much for that. Alright, that's already a wah-wah moment right there. Yeah. We just hyped it up, and immediately he dies. To be honest, let's be fair here for a second. If you pick Animal Husbandry and you die, then you want to die right away. When you don't really have a big bonus pool on that talent just yet. So I don't really think that Polyboss is going to be too upset about this one. But he's going to be very upset if he can, for example, gather another 5 minutes in and is going to fall then later on. So for now, Polyboss probably going to play this a little bit safer. Don't think that the early death is really an issue for him. But of course, it shouldn't really happen again any more than later on in the game. So, for now, level 7 talents, a little bit quicker for Granit Gaming, because they still have Tai at the top lane on his Liming. Calamity, of course, coming into the game, and that's going to help him to be more aggressive now over here. We're going to try and make that work with already the turrets on the ground. Alex popping the dragon. And here comes Misha. Polyboss still a bit far out. Furious taking a lot of damage as he's being focused by the rest of the teams here. Linked. Still lingering around in the middle. And so far, 70% against 33, and Nothing Left is looking good. They're still holding the point. They have linked with the heals created the entire time. There's still a turret also in play for them for a little bit longer. Good damage against Svamgrota here. Misha misses the stun. Yeah, but a nice combo from Tai against Guru, but they have the overtime now. Got the momentum for the time being. Nice forward position again from Alex as they're starting to get the stuns in. Alright, Lauba needs to move out, barely does. The Kidney was actually trying to push him back in. Saved him more or less. Oh, nice! Tai again with a play. Would have, of course, loved to play his Tracer here today and show his skills on that hero once more, but she's globally banned for this tournament. And with that, we're actually seeing them right now with the Liming plays once more. Okay, so for now, we're seeing at the bottom of the map, Fury still sitting there, trying to get some experience for the team. If they can get closer to level 10, that would of course also be a pretty nice setup. Blick, Kidney and Linked are already making the poke plays from the outside, hoping that they can chase them off, so that they can retake the control and maybe even force that first protector for themselves. We're still seeing Lauber holding on to that little last corner. 99% on both sides, as we are having a pretty fierce battle for that first protector of the game. Misha trying to murder her first. Doesn't quite work out. Double turret on the ground again, and Malf is too far out. Malf is too far out, and he goes down. That's the kill against him. And that is a 5 versus 4, and it forces Granit Gaming off the point. Another fantastic penetrating round from Guru comes in, forces them back. Nearly drops Li Ming, by the way, with another quick shot against Podibos, but we have, again, the Protector on the move. And Nothing Left is starting to take some control over this map. Now again, starting of course to prep the top lane here. Already headed that way. We're still seeing Podibos capitalizing on Animal Husbandry, as he still hasn't fallen since that earlier kill against him. And it's the top lane that's the most important, because it's all about the fountain, all about the fort. Already, the Kidney sitting at the side as Gorda is moving in on his Grey Mane, trying to see if he can maybe get the kill. They move in from behind, but yeah. As long as they open up the wall, the fountain is going to fall eventually. Already have poked down so hard, Junkrat can at any point just finish the job here. We still have Misha coming in together with Rexa, so Tai needs to be careful here. I mean, the one good thing that we have for Li Ming when you play against this is obviously that you can get another reset there. Yeah, but that's exactly what they just got. 10 is even a little bit quicker for the red team, but both of them pretty much hit it at the same time. Ancestral healing. We can see the bullet actually. Bullet, and also together with that, last rites. Try and drop the damage, try and drop the last rites, get the stacks, and just continue the same spiel the entire time. Especially important, obviously, when you're trying to, or if you manage to get that cooldown really low and really reduced, and you can throw that combo out pretty much every 30 seconds. So yeah, once again we're having, I mean, it's always the dance around the healing peak. It's pretty much what it comes down to. You're dancing around the healing beacon, you see if a team commits to it, and once that you do, you're forced into the fight, or you have to decide, hey, do we let them take it, yes or no? But we still have with Rhaegar and with Greymane fantastic camp clear potential for Granit Gaming. They use it to take the camp at the same time as they're still guarding the middle of the map here. And Greymane can of course just obliterate any minion wave that comes through super easily too, to help the team out. And there's the engage. They're forcing Rexa to rotate up to the top again. The fight that they've been waiting for. Here comes the Dragon Queen. It's a fantastic cooldown for the zone control here. The boars are in as well, and the damage comes through. Nice Ancestral, but it doesn't help Gorda, or does it? He might survive. Nah, he doesn't. In comes Jimmy. Drops him right there, and they're not stopping at Jimmy. They drop Malthael, and they're going for the kill against Johanna too. 4 kills against 2, and Nothing Left is really going for it. Nothing Left at this point is really, really doing work. The last series was already fantastic, and right now they are starting to take the lead against Granit Gaming. They're already prepping the top lane, obviously. They've taken down the fountain earlier. They now have the healing beacon as well on Sedoon. They're still seeing Misha rotate down to the bottom of the map. And obviously Rexa, he died earlier once, but still, ever since then, he hasn't fallen. So that bonus is really starting to stack up for him. He nearly has it now for 7 minutes roughly. Make it 6. So that drops him at nearly 800 additional hit points. The Dune again with a Stormbolt here. We're seeing 23,000 damage on Junkrat alone. Jimmy is sitting on 23k as well. Now it comes back to the stacking process. If you look over to Malthael, he hasn't really gotten anything yet. He threw out the last rights in the last fight, but he didn't get the stack. They didn't get the kill. Misha is still making the plays here, but we're also seeing, of course, the 15 stacks over on the Stormbolt. That's another big one. I mean, if you get that completed, just having the Pierce and also having the reduced cooldown to the auto attacks is such a huge tool for Muradin to become a nuisance in these fights. Just keep doing that. Another attempt, by the way, to go for Muradin. Even Alex had to pop the ult there. Right, going for the Cleansing Flame, and Guru, I mean, just murdering here with the auto attacks. Solid damage from him. Ace of Spades, of course, on level 1, or Ace in the Hole, sorry, on level 1 for him, especially with the slows that are coming through Rexa's ult. He can do so much work in all the big fights. 13 talents are ready on both sides right now. But we have top side, Kidney taking over the objective. And this is really the big deal. Now we have 13 talents coming in, but Granit Gaming doesn't have a retreat point. They can't try and hide behind the fort if they need to move back. They don't have a fountain, and they're also behind on the item game. Boss, as long as he doesn't get connected here and doesn't, he's going to be totally fine. So now the question is, how exactly do you play this? How exactly is Granit Gaming going to try and make the play for it? Are they going to find a kill somewhere? Can they pounce on someone? Do they get that blessed shield out? With a cursed bullet follow-up, Li Ming follow-up, and then the quick last rites? It's a lot of resources being dropped, but it might just be worth it to try and get the point here. We're making the play right there. Here comes the Riptide, here comes the Dragon Queen. They're not wasting any time. Not any. Riptide gets taken out, but still they're holding on to that spot without any problem whatsoever thus far. But still, the cooldowns are still there for Granit Gaming. They're still there. They could go for the insta blow up. They could try it right now. And they're going for it. They're going for it. Oh, it's not working at all. And not even close. Lauba is dying as Mirrodin just jumps straight on Johanna's face. Boots first. Crushes that. And that's Malthael now at that too. They tried to throw it out. They went for the bullet. They went for everything. And it just didn't matter whatsoever. Not even a little bit. Now we have another protector. Oftentimes you want to prepare the bot lane with it, but obviously on the way you can still stop by in the middle and make sure that you're dropping another 4 just to get that passive experience lead over your opponent that you're looking for. And yeah, they're getting this easily. 6 kills against 2, but absolutely fantastic setup here from Nothing Left. They are scary right now. They honestly look scary at this point. They're not all hungry to fight. I mean, these guys... The comeback against Divine Vendetta on Towers of Doom itself was just bonkers. But right now, against Granit Gaming having such a convincing first map, that's nothing to sneeze on either. As I said before, Granit Gaming has to be a top-tier contender the entire time in the Division S qualifiers, in the Nut Cup. They've done so exceptionally well. And this is only the first map, don't get me wrong. There's still also the chance for a comeback as long as you're forced to fight around level 16, but you've got to give some credit to Nothing Left and how well they are performing here so far. With level 16, obviously Feign Death, we have also Stoneform, fantastic talent, always make sure that you pop it after you used Avatar. Highly important to get a max value out of it. Paint them red, is another one. Ball connecting here. Yeah, they're just stealing this away. They're going in and they're taking everything. This item control is in their hands. This is just too easy. They're going to get both of the turrets if they want them, and they're going to get the healing beacon too. And this is something that Team Liquid showed in HGC. They were the first ones to really play the map more or less correctly, and going straight for the item control the entire time. Massive leads from Hazops and his boys back then. And they chose that map every single time. Now we're having it being a big favorite actually from teams like Russia, for example. In this case also with Nothing Left. And they are doing solid work here. Again, it's a 16 fight that you're gonna get. The 16 fight is the one that you're gonna get. You can fight on level 16 and then you have to try and win that one. So Dune is already sitting here at the side. He's chilling. Needs to be a bit careful, but again they have the items. It's a double turret and also the healing beacon. As Junkrat still shows topside, they know that only 4 heroes are at the bottom of the map, so if they can force a 5 versus 4, that might just be it. There's a level 16 right now, Mirror Ball for Li Ming again. With that damage, Greymane in the meantime going for the Executioner, as we have the combo of the Earthgrass Totem with the level 1. And they're trying to find an angle. 2 levels behind, they know that right now the best play for them would be to get a fight outside of that objective at the bottom of the map. Because they won't get level 20 in time. Nothing Left might. Especially if they're willing to give up a bit of early progress. Or if they just buy out a bit of time. Those objectives were taken soon. They were taken early. Also, Rexa really capitalizing now on Animal Husbandry. I mean, he has easily, I think, 1,500 hit points, roughly, that he has now. A little bit less. Sitting at like 1,300 extra HP that he gets through that. With the only death being super early in the game. So that makes him pretty tanky, next to Mirrodin in particular. Push at the top. They try to be aggressive. They're trying to force something. Force them to defend, see if someone oversteps. get the quick connect with the Blessed Shield, and then follow it up with the damage. But nothing left, it's just defending, staying safe, behind the wall, taking it easy. They know how to play this map right now. They know the dumbest thing that they could do is take an unnecessary fight. If they see a target, they will jump on it. But outside of that, meh. We're gonna soak, we're gonna get 20, and then you can fight us all day long. Must be really frustrating at this point. So yeah, once again, another camp taken here at the bottom. Misha is sniffing it out. Good doggy. They have they have actually two dogs. They have the Banshee and they have Misha at this point. Yeah, like they're letting him get the progress. You just wait for 20. And Junkrat is gonna give it to them. By now Rexa is sitting at 5,300 hit points. And again, he now has that for, I would say 12 minutes. Roughly 12 minutes. So yeah. 12 minutes of gathering HP here. And they have the level 20 now with the kill command. More damage, the extra root. Also on Ruby Wings, another massive, massive upgrade. Weak spot acquired. Great talents here. And obviously Granit Gaming knows that they will have to face the music here. I mean, you're gonna lose too much. Top lane, they even ignore that. There's a push coming through with a camp, but they're going for that right now. At this point, once again, control taken. Yeah, there's the Riptire. Oh, that's a big one, but Jimmy is down. Jimmy is down. Oh, but they lose Malthael again. Malthael, even before he can use the ult drops. And can they get a counter kill there? It doesn't look like it. The kill against Jimmy was actually fantastic, but then they lose Malthael even before he drops the last rights here, and maybe delivers another kill into their hands. A 4 versus 4, but down 2 levels and 1 talent. It's looked for a moment like that might be the comeback possible. Looked for a second like they might be making a play here. But now it's getting difficult. They still have to fight something. They have the bullet again and they use it. Bullet comes through. They're going straight in. Misha. Ooh, the queen is back. Another dragon. And they're just running. Top lane, of course, is also starting to get even more value. The entire wall is nearly gone and they're realizing they can't fight this anymore. They were trying to go for the second approach with the heroic ability that they had, especially the bullet. And now we have the protector taken. And that is 17 minutes into the game as they are moving down through the bottom. Misha is moving in again. Misha has seen barely any death so far. Only fallen, I think, twice in this game. It's a good Rexa. Portibus is taking well care of her very well. Misha is still looking for that next stun. Misha is teasing. Misha is a little bit of a tease. Moves in, moves out, so it's like, a little bit. We'll go for the stun. Nah, not this time. There you go, jumps in, takes down the keep. Again, that's a given that you drop that. Misha again getting attacked here. It's actually an unbearable situation that all the damage goes onto that little teddy the entire time. It's just unacceptable. It's just animal abuse on the highest level. Not quite sure if Blizzard could allow this. Rexa is also shocked by that behavior and is trying to punish it wherever he can. Still have the... I mean, they don't go for the core. It's half level until 20 for them, but they should try and get the second keep. Switching it out a little bit. Only Muradin here. Only the driver at this point. But they're not getting that. The defense is actually much better than expected from Granit Gaming. Look at Rexa, by the way. 6,000 hit points at this point. 6,000 hit points. Let's give you a little bit of comparison. Muradin, the main tank, has 6,300. Still ahead. But that's going to change eventually. If we're going to look over to Lauba, Lauba is sitting at 5,900. Obviously, they're one level behind, but still, Rexa is pretty much main tank material right now. There's the 20s. Granit Gaming is not out of it yet. I mean, honestly, if you think about it, think how this map has so far gone. They are in a position where they can still fight back if they get those kills. Wow. Look at that. Ult on Misha. That's how you kill the bear and get the stack from Malthael. They also get the healing beacon. There's the root again. They're trying to blow up Lauba. No, actually, they're going back in the line. Trying to blow up Henning here. Lauba himself is low, but he doesn't need the Ancestral yet. Still has the Unstoppable and is using it. Also is indestructible here. And that's a big exchange of cooldowns that we're seeing. But they're still fine. It's honestly amazing to me that Granit Gaming is still in such good shape considering. Look at that mini-map. They lost every single fort, they lost the keep, and they are still in the game. They have level 20 versus 20, and I mean, you have to at this point say they only lost the keep. They lost 3 protectors. 3. And they're still in play. They still are on level 20 talents. It's honestly impressive. 53,000 damage on Swamp Grotta with Greyman. 53k. By now, Rexa has 6,400 hit points, and the trend just continues. I mean, it's getting pretty bonkers, to be honest. 20 minutes in. Again, I think he died around 3 minutes, so for 16, 17 minutes roughly, we have now seen him accumulate additional HP on that hero. He's gonna be tough to kill, especially with Misha around guarding him. Junkrat has 59,000 damage on his own now. Yeah, there's the wall broken through. Next objective obviously spawning in the mid lane. And this time there is no additional... Actually, there is still a fountain available for them. Yep, still have the fountain too. The wall has been dropped, but once that gets announced, it would be a bit weird, honestly. Nothing Left has played such a fantastic game so far. But Granit Gaming can still win it. And there we have it. This is where we all started, mid lane. First objective and fourth objective, both in the middle of the map. And as long as they push out the catapults at the bottom before they engage into the fight, they're all good. And that's exactly what Fury is doing. It's exactly what Fury is good for now. Fury is saying, alright, I push this out, go for the fight, I buy us a little bit of time, and we can make the play there. It's all about the items again. Well, at least a little bit. And we have 1 turret against 2. 1 turret against 2. Not a massive lead for Nothing Left, but it's there. And now the position is ready. Starting to go for it. And the progress in the hands of Granit Gaming. Keep in mind, these late game protectors are murdering structures. Absolutely murdering structures. So if they can get it, there's the Storm Bolt connected. Quest isn't completed, by the way. Sitting at 22 stacks right now. There's the Riptire. Cooldowns are getting burned again. And they're trying, I guess they're going to move back and just tap the fountain in the middle. Pre-tap before they engage into the fight again, but then of course they have to flip the switch there. Nearly 7,000 hit points on Rexa. Nearly 7k. Muradin sits at 6,800. And Johanna sits at 6,100. So Misha is currently the hit point heaviest hero in the entire game. Top lane, look at that massive push. That is going to drop the keep eventually. There's a good chance of dropping the keep, but they need to go for the protector now. They need to win a fight here. If they don't win the fight, this is over. This is the play. This is the moment. This is really the situation where they have to go for it. Okay, where's that last right? They need the combo to come through one time. One time. Here comes the Blessed Shield. That didn't really do a whole lot for them, but they're trying to go for the bear again. And again, they're stacking the ult there. They're going with Malthael to just drop it. Nice Ancestral on Fury, but that's a cooldown burned. 2 stacks on the last rides, but that's still 45 seconds that they have to wait at this point. It's not really the kill that you want to go for. It's the kill they got. Top keep has fallen, and the core is falling. The core is falling. The Winions are going to decide the game here if they don't make a quick decision and send someone back, and they're YOLOing it. They have to YOLO it. 47%, 43% on the core. The core is falling quickly. Lauba is also dropping 39% on the core, and everybody's low on their side. The catapult got finally taken out by the minion wave, but everybody here is about to drop, and you can't sustain yourself through the 4th protector. That's just not happening. Blakidne is jumping in 2, protector is taken. This is game. This is game. You can't stop this anymore. There's already the push coming through the top lane. The keep is down. The core is down to 39%. They're moving through the bottom. They're moving through the middle. Fury is about to drop here. Guru goes in. Just drops hit after hit after hit. Malthael is dead. 90,000 damage on Junkrat. 66k on Jimmy. We are having Nothing Left moving in. There's the kill attempt. Poribos actually dies and loses his stacks, but I don't think he cares anymore. They have the lead. Nothing Left are again in the 1-0 lead here at Meta Madness in the best of 5. GG. Game number 2. Nothing Left has taken the lead in the series very impressively with a pretty close game there towards the end. But now we're heading into our second map, Battlefield of Eternity. And of course we're gonna take a closer look at the heroes that are being banned out here once more. So right now we have Rexa immediately banned. This has actually started to become a little bit of a theme. Not only in this series, but in the previous series we had actually the same thing happen. Not only when Washed Out played because of Monkey, but also with Team Russia that became a thing. And with the Mal'Ganis ban, honestly, we're starting to home in a lot more heavily towards the tanks. Still, I mean, don't get me wrong, we still have a few left, but with the pre-bans on Anubarak, Diablo and Garrosh, now Mal'Ganis being banned out, ETC being banned out a bit earlier, well, and Imperius too, we're starting to get to a path where you have to be a bit more careful. There's a Li Ming ban as well, so a couple of the really popular ones get already eliminated. Still a couple of, especially if this goes to like a 5th map, for example, tanks might become first pick no matter what's left there. Right now you still have enough. Still Stitches, there's still Tyrael, there's a bunch still available that you can run. Muradin, Johanna, all of them still up. But it's definitely something that eventually has to be a bit of a concern. Reyna gets taken out too. Alright, so with Jimmy eliminated, none of these auto attack shenanigans any longer. We still have Junkrat, and that is one of the big heroes to pick, especially early on. But obviously we still have the supports to consider here too. Turan is banned out, so is Ana. So Malfurion and Rhaegar are usually what you're looking for. Muradin immediately picked by Lau, but as I said, tanks are starting to become a little bit of a rarity here. Especially if that pattern continues. And as we have the first pick on the side of Granit Gaming, map was picked by Nothing Left. They want to brawl. One of the reasons why actually Li Ming was banned out here, because she's so fantastic on this battleground. But if you think about the heroes that are usually played here, a lot of them were pre-banned. Tyrande. Now we have Li Ming banned. That's the reason why Greyman actually gets picked this early. Anubarak is usually played here too. And let's not forget that a hero like Hanzo is obviously also super powerful here. So all these poke heroes. And that's why Greyman gets picked this early. Because Greyman is amazing at treading down the Immortal. But normally other heroes are just overshadowing him, so now Greyman is picked in the first rotation together with Urel, who can provide a bit of extra armor for him whenever he starts going in. There's Auriel and Vala. Vala, of course, with an arrow build, still absolutely great against Immortals. Okay, seeing Auriel making her way back in. Next ban coming through too. But yeah, it's starting to become good. We're looking at a pretty solid setup here in this map. Ooh, that's actually unfortunate. I would have loved to see Zarya. We had a couple of crazy setups with Zarya, double support, Garrosh, who's obviously banned. But that could have been a good one for sure. Speed for Tai, who's already a monster on these heroes. That would have been something. Thanks to the level 4, Zarya would have been really fun here. And they banned Tyrael. Another tank banned. Again, depending on how long this particular match lasts, how many games we're going to see, how many maps we're going to see, this could be an absolutely brutal late game or end game situation. Okay. Now what do you pick at this point? You still need a main tank. Again, Jojo is still out, Stitch is still out, you still have tools, don't get me wrong. For this game it shouldn't really be the biggest problem. But what do you usually try and do when you pick Greymane? You try Sanct. You try and be aggressive. Link goes for Kharazim. Greymane, Kharazim. Look at the dive. Look at the dive here. One blessed shield from Zadoon and they can all pounce on the target. I don't know. Do we get Tacita for the double support here? Or do they pick something else in addition to Auriel? Tacita would of course soften up the targets. It's the go-to at this point. With Zarya banned out. Alarak and Leoric get both taken. Okay. Didn't actually see too much Alarak just yet. I think we had one today. Meta Madness here. But yeah, with Guru on the last pick, how is Nothing Left gonna try and decide that second game in their favor as well? We still need them with a bit more damage, I'd say. Greyman alone is not gonna do the trick for them. They need a little bit more. And it is... Oh, Ophia, alright. So there's the damage, once again, together with Greymane. Battlefield of Eternity, game number 2 in our best of 5 here at Meta Madness. So let's jump in and see if Granit Gaming can put a point onto the scoreboard for their team. Game number 2, nothing left in the lead as we have Podibos on Urel on the left side for the blue team. Guru on Greymane, Zadoon on Johanna, Blakidney on Orphea, and Linked on Karazim. On the right side of the map though, Granit Gaming with Tai on Vala. Solo support actually with that. Playing Henning on Oriel here, but we have a triple frontline to keep her alive with Laubon Muradin, Svamgrotta on Alarak, and a Fury on Leoric. So the Vala setup here. It's actually a very, very interesting variation because normally you don't see Vala with the solo support these days anymore. She suffers from a very low hit point pool, and especially going up against Greymane on the other side, that might be a problem for her later on. Doesn't really matter what we're going to see. It could be the Cursed Bullet, it could be the Go for the Throat, but the problem is if you're going to a setup like this and Vala gets dropped, you lose a lot of your damage. You still have Alarak in there, granted, but Vala is incredibly vulnerable. And this is why we saw that Zarya ban during the draft, because Nothing Left wanted to prevent exactly that. But as it stands, with that front line, the Stormbolt setup, with also the combos that Svamgrotta could push out, and Fury for the damage reduction with 16 and 13, this can really help to keep Vala alive here. But it's a massive jump potential that we're seeing on the blue team side. You have Karazim darting in and trying to get the punches through. Greymane can follow, of course, with the Worgen form. And then you have Urel also pouncing on top of that, providing the extra armor. So the entire setup here is super, super aggressive. And on top of that, they got race potential on the Immortal itself, thanks to Greymane. Now, for Vala, it is a bit of a different story, because in this particular setup, she of course shines. You have so many heroes that are already eliminated during the draft that are normally fantastic against the Immortal, and Vala is one of the OG, so to say, on Battlefield of Eternity, ever since Chris actually back then brought that arrow build straight into the meta and said, okay, we're going to play heavily around that and going to make the plays with the arrow build. He played it on pretty much every single map. That's what the established meta was at the time. But on Battlefield of Eternity, that's where originally that build started to pop up, because you could take that Immortal down. So they have definitely a bit of potential to drop that, but they need level 7 for it to have the repeating arrow on Vala, and that's going to be the most important thing. Go straight into from Monster Hunter into stacking on level 4, and then the repeating arrow, and take it from there. And there we go, jumping straight into our second game, and let's see how this is going to pan out for Granit Gaming, as they're obviously eager to tie the series here. If you fall behind with an 0-2, it's super tricky to actually make that comeback and decide the entire series in your favor. But at this point, we have Podibos at the top side. We're seeing down to the bottom of the map a Blakidney and Zadoon, as we still have the rotation from Karazim and Greymane to drop Leoric, but he's actually playing this extremely safe right now. And as I said, still on the money pick, still all good. Fury is actually playing this well for now. There's 3 men against him, but Muradin has already sniffed out that something isn't quite right and is starting to move topside to help him out here. We're still seeing that little trio at the bottom of the map with Tai, Henning and Svamgrotta. Obviously you want to keep Vala together with Oriel as much as you can, just simply so that you have an opportunity to continuously feed that energy over to Oriel. But, well, on level 1, again, we're seeing the Ancestral Strength, kind of the go-to build, really. We have seen a few different setups, but none of them really where we'd say, okay, this is it. Nice combo. Svamgrotta actually landing that perfectly, and Podibos was for a moment really in trouble. Dropped to half HP here. Now we're still moving around to still look if he can maybe get a Stormbolt. I mean, it's a 3-2 split that we're pretty much seeing here. It's not quite the traditional lineup. Normally it's a 4-1 setup. But as it turns out, they are heavily fighting over the Khaldor camp at the top lane. Orphea is actually alone at the bottom of the map right now, so they have to make this a quick one if they really want to take it. But I'm still looking for the combo again. Nicely set up against Linked, but the problem is that there's a 4th hero to consider right now. But they're moving away. But with that also happening, we're still seeing Vala absolutely demolish the bot lane. Blakidney on Orphea can't do anything about that. Especially, of course, with Henny being around for the continuous heals. So the wall is already falling. They get access to the side. Blakidney is telling his team, guys, I need someone here. Like, that isn't working out in the long run. Yep, Get the hell out of there. The girl with the whip. Oriel, again, being a little bit sassy here. I like it. Goes in and just tells Johanna to get the hell out of there. So yeah, Tai drops the wall. At the top, we're seeing a similar situation. Maybe not quite to the same extent, but I like it that they're so aggressive in the second game here. Now, of course, with level 4 talents, we're going to have puncturing arrows starting to get stacked slowly and steadily, as we said before. To get the full race and the full speed from Tai on the Immortal, you need to first of all get the repeating arrow on 7, and then you also want to complete your level 4 stacks. Once that's the case, if you are left alone on the Immortal, you definitely have the impact that you desire here. And we actually get the lineup that I wanted. Sledgehammer and Perfect Storm. I love it. Normally you don't get that, because most players will still go for the level 4 Thunderclap, which makes perfect sense, by the way. I just wanted to see that, because it's actually fantastic how much damage you can get against structures and the Immortal if you stack it properly. But outside of that, you lose a lot of mobility, survivability, obviously. Your healing static doesn't proc twice anymore at level 13, and that is an issue. Muradin starts to also stack that together a little bit, but it's still a race. And so far, the red team is losing out on it. Not by a huge margin, but still by a bit of damage. Still trying to get the stacks here together. Tai so far doesn't have a single stack on the arrow. Gets the first one now, but there's the engage, and the big aggression that we've been talking about at the beginning is happening. Fury gets healed. Henning needs to be careful as Polybos is trying to split the team, drives a wedge between them, and Zedun is zoning as well. Lauba is low too, barely jumps out, but is now in the spot where he, of course, can rely on his trade again. 2 stacks so far for Vala, and Polybos! Nice Stormbolt, great setup. That was well done by Lauba. Fantastic Stormbolt right to the face, but the Immortal, that's a different story. In comes Linked, trying to win this one. It's close, but the red team loses out. Yeah, but a good kill still. So 7 stacks now on the baseline, 4 on the level 1. If you're a little bit confused by why there's a discrepancy between the 2 stacks, you get bonus on your baseline if the target that you stun gets taken down shortly after. So that's why there's sometimes a bit of a discrepancy between the Stormbolt baseline quest and the Perfect Storm here. So now that they're having 3 stacks, the repeating arrow comes in too. It gets the extra talent in. Allows Tai, of course, also to stack this a little bit quicker. But they're doing actually really well with this, I gotta admit. And again, once that we're looking at the late game setup, Lauba is going to do absolutely murderous damage against not only the Immortal, but he can just Stormbolt buildings into the ground. You combine that with him completing the quest on the baseline and getting the cooldown reduction through the auto attacks, and you have an absolute monster there. But it's definitely more of a late game setup than anything else. And we all know, of course, that on Battlefield of Eternity, you can get snowballed if you don't pay attention. But they needed a bit more damage against the Immortal. They just can't really get the same speed on the Immortal damage as their opponent, because Nothing Left is running Greymane and they're running Kerosene with this. They're having a lot of damage output with that. Talking damage output, another Stormbolt, another big hit, and that could be the death of Zedun, and indeed it is. What? This is always the setup when you have 4 heroes pounce on the target and basically everybody is saying like, oh, you get the final hit. No, you do it. I'm already out there, and all of a sudden nobody feels responsible. But yeah, I was still in range. But for just a short moment it looked like they would turn around and Johanna would walk away there. But here's the kill that we expected. That was a great drop at the bot lane, by the way. That was a great rotation for them. Nice aggression there too. Some Grota is really murdering on an Alarak right now. He has fantastic setups here so far. He's done really, really well. I mean, just that kill that we just saw at the bottom of the map, that interplay between Muradin and... Look at this! The plays between Muradin and between Alarak are insane. Stormbolt into combo, and they always come out of left field. They always come from an angle where Nothing Left just doesn't expect it. And that helps Muradin to already sit on 12 stacks on his baseline. That's pretty impressive. And obviously they have a free shot at the Immortal damage and winning the halftime show here. They're doing incredibly well with this. A halftime show is an easy win for them. To be honest, you look at experience and how close they are to level 10. That should be a very, very beefy Immortal that they're bringing onto the field now. There's not even anything being contested. Nothing Left knows fully well that they can't do anything here. Oh, well, they're stopping by for a moment, but you can already tell how low that Immortal is, and now that level 10 is just so close, they will have to move down to the bot lane and see if they can maybe drop a structure here. 7 stacks on Vala's level 4 quest. There's the level 10 right now. Counter-strike. Yeah, they go in again, and Alarak gets the damage out. Lauber, of course, wants to hit the Stormbolt. 14 stacks by now for him, and they're going in once more. Tai, no problem whatsoever for him. He drops the damage, he drops it easy. Swampgrota is defending at the bottom. There's a level 10 versus level 10. That Immortal is still in play, by the way. That Immortal is still... no way. Oriel is dead, and so is Leo. You gotta be kidding me. Good Stormbolt again from Lauber. Nice push here also. Quest completed, look at that. 7 minutes and 50, we have the level 4 completed. Alarak is doing fantastic here, but they need to drop this one. They need to drop that bad boy. That Immortal, finally, they're so close, but they're trying to go for kills still. Lauber with one Stormbolt can easily take it. Even an auto attack would probably finish the job. He barely jumps out, but there is Fury. Respawns, gets the kill, and that's the big Immortal there. But damn, for a second I really thought that Nothing Left would turn this. I mean, they got the kills at the start, but holy hell. And Swampgrota, I mean, he is doing really, really well with the setup here. Let's take a quick look at the damage. I mean, look at Alarak, 19,000 damage, more than Vala at this point. And he's set up so many combos, really good ones. So now, once again, the approach, the Entomb, was a close one. Didn't quite hit though, 7-sided by the way, over Palm as a decision, and here comes another combo from Alarak, and they're getting the damage in against UL. 7-sided is in, but they all soak the damage, not an issue. And he moves away with a Rage Walk from Orphea's ult, and another big stun. Get wrecked, Coffin Girl. Time to kiss your life goodbye. She's down, and they might get another one. Lauber is waiting for another Stormbolt. If he hits that, it could be another kill. The slows are in, and barely not getting it. But they dropped the fort. Easy peasy. Fort is down right away. We're already having immediately the move up to the top. 22 stacks already for Muradin. 9 minutes in, Muradin is nearly done with this quest. And Swampgrota is murdering it on Alarak here. 4 kills against 2, and they have all the momentum in the world. Granit Gaming definitely wants to force this into a tie. Which would also, by the way, guarantee a 4th map at the minimum. Which also might have a very interesting effect onto the bans. I can totally see Alarak being banned out again. Alarak was actually banned several times in previous matches. Also look at Vala for a moment. She's currently sitting at 13 stacks. And we are seeing that damage coming through. That damage is definitely starting to become a big deal here. Because Vala can now more or less solo that Immortal. Once she has that quest completed, which is only 7 stacks away, she will be able to drop massive, massive Immortal damage in every single objective. It's a nice rotation here, but I love how Podipos is playing this. Podipos, look at this. Yoo-hoo, kill me! Tai as bait. No one's gonna fall for this. A Vala alone knocking at the door of a keep, that's just not happening. Everybody's looking at this like, that's not real. Like, whatever that is, that's a scam right there. It was a little bit too good to be true. So yeah, 13 against 12. The talent isn't there yet. That was a nice attempt to bait them. I mean, you could hear Admiral Akbar from the distance. It's a trap! It's like, no shit, Sherlock, really? Immortal in 10 seconds. Alright. But they're gonna go for the camp here. And the bot lane is, of course, opened up too. 13 on both sides now. With that, we're having also the Siphoning Arrow taken. No Gloom, no nothing. Siphoning Arrow instead. Muradin still goes into the healing static despite the perfect storm here. And again, he's starting to get some solid damage with the Stormbolts against the Immortal as well. Sledgehammer, of course, is already providing that. Down here, we're seeing the race actually nearly successful for the blue team. Not quite the same damage output that we're having on the side of Granit Gaming, thanks to the talents that they picked. That said, once again, the attempt to go for a kill here. Another Stormbolt connects. 23 for him, 2 away from completing it. Oh, Vala, Aegis. Ooh, and she moves out. Tai survives. Wow, just as the Entomb also comes down to stop the rest of the team. Tai survives, and now they're trying to turn it here. They're going in again with another setup to Alarak. Zadoon is low, Tai is getting the hits in, Johanna is dead, Tai falls, but everybody else is so low. Urel is dead, and here come the slows as Fury goes straight in for Karazim. They know where Greymane is. He's jumping away. They get Karazim, they get Greymane. It's a 5-man wipe as we have nothing left despite the death of Vala with a fantastic setup. And look at the freebie top lane. That is a keep gone. Fury is going to clear the wave here, doesn't even have to. Bot lane is getting pushed on the other side, but still, this is going to be the easiest keep of their life. Down it goes, 2 levels ahead, and we are likely, very likely, looking at a 4th game secured here, as it seems as if Granit Gaming is going to tie this one. Down at the bottom of the map, this one is getting some value. The Shaman camp, but Tai is already back. Is dropping them right now. 17 stacks. Quest from Muradin already completed. And they, of course, get the Immortal, and that one is going to focus onto the bot lane. They actually wait this out, too. Get wrecked, Lauber. The Immortal dead, but the stun still comes through. Get wrecked, son. Well, talking about get wrecked, despite the fact that they don't have level 16 talents, they want to fight. 7-sided comes in, and they're going for Lauber. He has a little bit of mana left. Oh, Aegis! And Henning Aegising himself here, but that's the end of Oriel. Oriel is down, and Immortal is already on the board, by the way. The Immortal is walking through the bot lane. Karazim is dead too, and so is Ophia. But we're having Alarak about to die. Nah, he survives, and they get everyone else. Another 5-man wipe as the entire team gets just deleted from the board. And now we're having the Immortal going through the bottom keep. We have 43,000 damage from Vala, 36k on the side of Alarak though, and fantastic setup here for Granit Gaming. Absolute brilliant what we're seeing here from them. With that, the series is going to be tied. Yes, we have the 7-sided back to business as Link is jumping in, but he is not going to be able to stop this. The Immortal alone is going to finish this easy peasy. This is going to be the tie in the series as we're going to head into the 3rd game with a 1-1 between Nothing Left and Granit Gaming as Battlefield of Eternity ends in favor of the red team. GG and well played. Welcome to Game 3, everyone. It's getting spicy here, and quite a bit of that. More bans incoming as we are looking at Game 3, and we are already guaranteed for maps. That means a lot of bans, and potentially it could also be a 5-mapper. What we're all hoping for here. Let's look at the bans, though. What are we going to get? Towers of Doom is our map. Is Alarak going to be banned? That's my first question. Swamgrota looked pretty good there. First of all, they're getting rid of Vala. Alright, Vala is getting banned. And what else do we have? I mean, Towers of Doom, again, the Haka is still around, so you can... Ooh, a lot of auto attack are being focused away here. So the Haka is still open as far as I can tell. Yes, actually double check that real quickly. Okay, the tank focus actually continues. I told you, we're gonna end up in a scenario where the tanks are really limited. Especially with Tyrael, who was also banned in the last engagement. But yeah, coming back to what was my point? Ah, yeah, the Haka. Big map, Towers of Doom. The Haka could be banned out. We've seen him banned in previous series, and that gave Falstad a ticket back into the game. Because, wow, even more focus on tanks. Okay, we're getting there. Yeah, because once the Haka is banned, the amount of globals that you have is of course limited. I mean, you can go Brightwing, but then you have Brightwing. You can go into... you can of course also try to just simply play around Falstad or an Illidan with the Hunt. In this case, ETC with Stage Dive doesn't even work because ETC is banned out. And Stitches is right away played. I mean, there's not a lot left, to be honest, for the main tank position. So the first thing that happens is they pick Stitches. Medivh and Arthur's on the other side, though. That's already a great setup for them, too. Medivh was banned in multiple series earlier. Not so in this one. Medivh's still open. And with Arthur's, you now can play a main tank where Medivh can help you to stay alive, and he can portal you into the opponent's backline. And that is one of the downsides of Arthur's oftentimes. that you have a tough time closing gaps. There comes Tychus. There's the Dehaka that we talked about. Yeah, it's getting very, very interesting on that tank roll. Game 4 could be wild. If we have more tanks ban out, it could be wild. Especially if one team picks first pick and they ban the other tanks out and just pick the one that's left on the first pick. Okay. Alright, Towers of Doom. What else are we gonna see? Henning, there's the ban on Falstad. Banning out even more globals. Falstad is therefore also eliminated. And the insta ban on Oriel. Alright, don't want to deal with Oriel either. It's a wild setup. It's a good one. Alright, let's see. With Medivh, what are we going to get from them? What is going to be the adjustment that we're seeing on the side of Granit Gaming? So with Arthurs, they have a lot of lockdown. A bit of burst damage is something that you would oftentimes, of course, really want if you're going into a Howling's Blast. Malthael on the offlane, Rhaegar. Was Malfurion actually banned in this series? I have to look that up real quickly. Malfurion was indeed banned, yeah. Malfurion is not available. What are we going to see in terms of support? With Oriel banned out, Rhaegar already taken. I don't think they would consider something like the right wing. Junkrat, first of all, is still available, and Link goes for his old school. He goes for Deckard Cain, a hero that has actually fallen out of the meta for quite a bit. But yeah, now on the last one. On the last pick here. What is Granit Gaming gonna go for? They need damage. I mean, they need range damage at this point. You need something. They have only Malthael right now. And Medivh, of course, who can also deliver if he completes the baseline. Ophir. Ty on Ophir, a couple of good games in the past, and as you can imagine, there's not really a lot of heroes to choose from anymore. The pool is getting rather small, so Ophir is as the last pick. Towers of Doom, ladies and gentlemen. Game number 3 between Nothing Left and Granit Gaming. Game number 3. The series is tied. Nothing Left against Granit Gaming, 1-1. And on the left side, Nothing Left now, with Podibos on Dehaka. Blikidney on Junkrat again. We have Linked on Deckard Cain. Guru on Tychus. We're gonna get to see that Odin probably. With Zadoon on Stitches. The battle for the tanks that has started, and it forced Lauba into a main tank Arthurs. With Swamp Grotta on Medivh, Henning on Rhaegar. We have Ty on Ophir, and Fury on Malthael. Alright, I am ready for this. Game 4 should even be more interesting with the compositions that are coming out here. It's a very fun setup, honestly. Is this the first time? Yeah, it's the first time that we see Medivh, I think. Yeah, so that's gonna help a lot, especially, of course, when Stitches is gonna go in. Can always portal the target out if he gets a good hook, or maybe even a Gorge. Yeah, Swamgota gets focused, but he gets out also pretty quickly. 7 stacks for him, so far the early game is at least working out, despite the fact that he got pretty much wrecked in HP. Ty is showing Guru, who's boss in the direct battle between Tychus and Ophir. Okay, that worked well. I mean, the aggression that you can have with Medivh on your side is obviously fantastic. And Lauba with Arthurs, when you portal that guy into the back line against Junkrat, for example, he will have to move away immediately. Deckard Cain doesn't have an escape tool, is in a similar position. So there's a lot of things, a lot of dirty stuff that you can really pull with this particular setup here. Now, with that said, we're still seeing at the top lane the Malthael versus Podibos one-on-one. But we're gonna keep our eye especially on Medivh. The stacks that he wants to get, especially of course on the baseline here, super important. If you kill him before that happens, it's gonna be very tricky for him to ever get those completed. But once you do, you have a decent amount of damage that you can push out in all of these fights. It's a pretty big one. I mean, the damage reduction is crazy, and also simply the cooldown reduction, because once then you're looking at the big team fights, you can just like spam that out over and over again. He's going to try and make that happen here. Let's see if they can drop him before he completes it. I mean, for the time being, he's still on 10, so he needs another 30, but he is getting some value here, and once again, the portals are also provided to help, especially Arthurs, to move in and out as he desires them. It was a little bit quicker. Lauba is going to need all that protection the entire time. Now again, you have later on, of course, I think Icebound Fortitude is pretty much a must for Lauba anyways. So he's probably going to get that. We're going to at the same time also get him the shield from Medivh or whenever available. And then you will see Rhaegar, probably with the Earth Shield on 13, help him even more with that. But they just have these quick engages through the portal, and they are doing that already quite nicely. There's a level 4. Lava with a traditional build right now, going into the Frost Presence on level 1, straight into the Frozen Wastes, and should go for the Icebound Fortitude on 7. Don't really think that Rune Tap is going to be the option here, friend. We don't see a kill yet, but 17 stacks by now for Medivh. So Swampgrotha is actually doing fairly well here. Needs to be careful, especially these hooks are going to be dangerous. But right now he is doing okay. The level 1, or the, sorry, level 4 talent, of course, the bigger they are, if you can burn through Arthas and drop him, then you're in a really good spot for the team fight. Yeah, talking about it, he's immediately trying to do exactly that, but the portals provide the escape path that they need. Tai, on the other hand, gets pushed in just as the portal is on cooldown. That doesn't really bode well for him, but Rhaegar with a save is ready, and Swampgrotha should be ready to also drop a couple of cooldowns here again. The battle at the top left actually continues. It's not a 1-for-1 trade that we're seeing. Instead, the two are trying to fight it out in a 1-for-1 setup. 22 stacks now for Medivh. And we're seeing at the bottom of the map, again, the focus on 2 Stitches in this case. Arthas is trying to annoy Linked a little bit on Deckard Cain. And Lauber now, super low, might not survive that little skirmish here. Yep, the grenades are coming through, and he is super low at this point. And has to actually move away. The one-on-one at the top is still raging on, but the main battle is definitely happening down here. And Lauber is low again, but they are still alive, thanks to all the support that's happening. And this is just stalled out. Fury and Poryballs, they're having a little bit of a staring contest, if you ask me. And now he finally decides that this is silly, and Fury just goes for the 1-for-1. But at the bottom, we have also the channel coming through, and Swampgrotha is not going to drop for this one. Not with 31 stacks, that's not happening. So another 4 shots fired as we have nothing left. Take a small lead on the objective. Gets a small lead on this one. Level 1 quest also here with a dash once again. But yeah, it's actually really interesting because at this point you don't want to be too aggressive on Medivh. You want to make sure that you get your quest completed first. But the attempt at the top left to just stall out the tribute was an interesting one for sure. If they are able to win the fight down at the bottom, I think the plan was just to try and get as much as they can and really force the fight there. It's not really what you see too often, because no, traditionally you're trying to get top left, top right. But the one thing that Fury actually accomplished with it, which was hugely important, is by him attacking Dehaka as he was trying to channel, he forced Dehaka to stay at the top. So Dehaka couldn't actually global down to the bottom of the map. And that was a super important setup here, because that's always the risk that you take. If you go for a trade, top left, top right, then Dehaka simply burrows bot lane and can get the Great Dragon and tries to get the kill there. So it was actually well done by Fury to just force him to stay there. If they don't have a lot of tools where they can interrupt the channel from a distance, then that's probably the best play you can make. If you have, for example, Junkrat in the mid, so you have a Tyrande for the Owl, it's a bit of a different story because you can buy the time for Malthael to rotate down, but they didn't have that, so yeah. Well, that said, we have 34 stacks now, 6 left to complete Medivh's quest, complete the baseline, and then we're probably going to see him also take a few more chances here, I would assume. But for now, it's just like, fly like an eagle, I believe I can fly. And yes, indeed he can. It's like a snitch, that guy is just like a little tattletale. Medivh always flying around there, telling everybody what's happening. Dehaka still getting top lane value now out of the global, obviously. And down here, the channel attempt. Nice zoning, actually. Very nice zoning. Look at that. Only Dehaka is able to interrupt it. And we moved in from the right. There's, on the other hand, the immediate move on to Lauber. And there is nothing. Well, there's the shield. I was just about to say, there's nothing that Swampgrotha has, apparently. Honestly, Swampgrotha is 1 hit away. Swampgrotha is actually sweating blood right now. He's sitting there, it's like, guys, I can't die right now. Don't make me drop all my defensives for you. I cannot die. I have literally just 1 stack left. And he's most likely gonna get it here soon, whenever he sees one on a solo. But yeah, so we have another altar channel through from nothing left. And they are now not only getting the early level 10, half a level ahead. They're also at this point starting to take a pretty significant lead on the core points. 36 against 28. Pody boss at the top, pushing that out. Like how annoying it is if you're mid-deep and you're just a single stack away from completing it. You're just sitting there and you're saying like, please just like, can someone please just like sit solo in a bush somewhere? Just so I can fly down and drop it. And he gets it. There we go. Svamgroda completes it. A lockdown. Stay a while and listen. As Linked is going for it, but here comes the Riptire against Fury on Malthael. They're still trying to invade and they're actually grabbing it. They get it and they want the kill and they get it too. Stitches is down. Fury is looking for the big ult here, but he can't get the last rights and they're trying to look for a target, but they just don't find it. Guru is at least zoning them out now. At the same time, they're jumping into Black Kidney again. Oh, there it is. It's not working. Nope, it's not enough. Black Kidney gets away. One more hit was needed and they didn't get it. Lauba is low. Everybody is low, to be honest with you. There's the drag against Medivh, and that was a perfect one, but he still has the shield available and is able to move out. Rhaegar already used the Ancestral earlier, so they couldn't make that play. Tai is still dancing around. He's still looking for the kills. Well, he doesn't get them yet. But they are definitely delivering the damage. That was the first kill in the game, by the way. Stitches dying was the first hero that went down in this game. Didn't have a single one so far. Lauba super low here, as we are seeing Orphea zoning our Junkrat so that Fury can complete the channel down here. Still the bite. Go for Zadoon. 4 shots fired, but they need more. They really need more if they want to start to tie this. 28 against 32. Could tap at the fountain again, is starting to move in, but Zadoon gets the channel through. They're looking for a kill though. Looking for an opportunity to maybe get something done here. 24 against 32 right now. And there's a lockdown against Fury. Fury does have his ult back up. He has the ult back up. He could use it. And he's trying to, and they get it. That's the first stack on the last rights. And here comes the ley line. Great by Svamgroda. The setup, but a good drag from Potty Boss. Well done, destroying the play here for the time being. 5 versus 4, but everybody low and they're moving away immediately. That's a little bit unfortunate. That healing ward did get no value whatsoever. Didn't see the portal coming, I assume. That probably wasn't really quite communicated there. Just appeared, or he would have dropped it on the other side of that. But yeah, first stack, and look at Arthas. He's nearly done with his quest talents too. Frozen Waste is sitting at 140, 19 on the level 1. And yeah, I mean, so far so good for... I mean, I guess from a kill perspective, it's Granit Gaming that is leading the charge here, but from the objective, on the other hand, Nothing Left is still pretty much winning every important trade on that. But let's take a little bit of a look at the damage itself. I mean, obviously, if you are able to get the kills in throughout the entire game, as the game continues, those kills become more important because the death timers increase. So then you get more momentum on the map itself. 19,000 damage now on Medivh. We have 26k from Tai on Orphea, and they're stealing another cap away here. The experience is still in favor of Nothing Left, and that's mainly because of Dehaka playing the top lane the entire time. Getting the global on this map is just such a huge asset that you will always be able to establish that leading experience, or at least close the gap if your opponent is really that kill heavy. There's another channel attempt. Dehaka comes in from behind, and he's in trouble. Dehaka is going to be in trouble here. Burrow is going to come through, and now we're going to see Last Rites coming in. No. Yes, he used it. Yeah, used Last Rites. Should have gotten the stack there, and indeed he did. And that's the end of Zadoon. That's the end of Zadoon. Stitches is going to fall. Stitches is dying. That's a double kill right there. They get the altar. And Dehaka, I mean, again, this is one that you should probably let go. He was able to get the quick delay here, but I don't think he expected everybody to pounce on him that quickly. I don't think they had the vision for that. And obviously with the bot lane already. This is the portal of Arthas into the backline that we talked about earlier. Arthas is just dancing in, dancing out. And the same is true for Tai too. And they're turning it around against the bell tower. Granit Gaming is getting a lot of momentum now. They're getting the bot lane. They have at this point 28 against 24 points. Here comes again an attempt to go for another kill with a good drag actually against Orphea, but the cleanse comes through. And they're trying to get the lockdown, and Lauba connects it. The Ancestral hits him to keep him safe a little bit longer. Nice isolation, good hook too, but Svamgroda is keeping them alive for now. Lauba goes into the portal and survives. No way. Wow, nicely done. Nicely done. Keep him alive here. And by the way, with 2 stacks and a 10-second cooldown reduction, we have Malthael already back on the last rides. Now, of course, he's not at the bot lane right now. Can't really play around that, but still can use that whenever they're going for those fights again. Quests are completed for Arthas, obviously, so he's looking solid there. Well, they are already looking if they can maybe get another kill somewhere. Yeah, Brigitte jumping out within a second, realizing that he has absolutely no chance if he doesn't move out of harm's way immediately. They're trying to get that bell tower back before the triple objective starts. With 3 altars on the map, even if you only lose 2, that's 10 points that you lose. It's just way too much. Lauer with a good lockdown once again. They're trying to go for him. That hook could be nasty. Yeah, but they're going for the play. And here comes Ty again on Ophia. The sleep. Stay a while and get wrecked. Junkrat is down as Malthael gets a 3rd last right stack in the mid lane. Interrupts the Arca. The bot lane fight against Sedoon is finally netting them a kill. 6 kills against a 0 right now. And obviously that fight still continues. Nice move also. The drag as it comes in, and he just uses the inevitable end. Rhaegar is already channeling through the bot lane. They have those 5 stacks, but Fury goes down. Fury goes down, and they're thinking about just giving this one up. And Link channels it. Well, that's 5 versus 3 shots fired, but you can see that there's the double happening. And that brings them the lead. And the lead now, 21 points against 18. Boom. And they have the level 16 talent. And obviously with 3 stacks on the last rights, the 15-second cooldown reduction is starting to make this thing incredibly dangerous. Especially the way that Ty is setting up kills for the team. If he can capitalize on a few more of those, he's just going to spam out the old 6 days to Sunday. 41,000 damage by Ty. Same amount on the side of Tychus. And they still hold on to the bot lane here. They still have the bot lane control, but at least we're seeing 16 versus 16 on the board, so nothing left has a chance to fight on even talents maybe. That hook, obviously, another big problem. If Sedoon is able to connect that and drag someone into the death zone, that would be great, but not from the position where they are standing here right now. He's looking for it, but Ty is not falling for that trick. Nope, not happening. Still, Pody boss against Fury here. Yeah, that connects. Can be a bit more aggressive. Down to the bottom of the map, the 4 versus 4 setup that we're seeing. Ty is also starting to complete this one, which is another big problem. That's the cooldown to 6 seconds. Oh yeah, baby. And no more mana problems? Sounds good too. Damage increase in the process? Hell yeah, why not? He's 1 away from completing it. And now with level 16, we're obviously also seeing the Earthgrasp Totem. We have the Remorseless Winter here. Another big root. And Fury is already sitting here at the side. Double altar, but they're looking for kills at this point. And they're going for it. There's the team fight. Guru is already low, and if he gets the last rights connected, he's already looking for it for the side, you can tell. He was just trying to sneak in there, but Guru gets the potions. Oh, the altars are spawning in a couple of seconds, and Malthael finally has to start realizing, okay, I need to go top now. And they can just go for the trades. Every single trade 1 for 1 is a positive trade for them because they hold the extra bell tower. 5 versus 3, you're going to take that trade every single time. Here's the army already coming in, and Ty is bodying Deckard Cain. Absolutely bodying him. Ley line being used. They go for stitches, and Sedoon is dead as the Ancestral keeps Arthas alive. Fury is a little bit salty that he's not invited to the party and doesn't get any additional stacks, but as he goes in, he drops Tychus, and that's the 4th stack acquired. 20-second cooldown reduction. Granit Gaming looking perfect here. 9 kills against 1, 18 versus 3 points on the core. And they might even be able, with a 5 versus 2 setup, to either go for boss or maybe another bell tower on the map. They're looking really good here. Again, we've seen crazy comebacks, just keep that in mind. We had one game earlier that nobody thought was possible to turn around, and nothing left was playing in that game, so you shouldn't count them out just yet. But the kill count that we have is painting a really clear picture of what's going on here. So far, the setup just seems to be much better for nothing left. Stitches with a slam build at this point is getting some damage through, but it's really negligible, to be honest, with the 29,000 compared to what we're having from Junkrat and Tychus. Ophia still with a 53,000, and of course we're having Medivh contributing quite a lot of damage too. The cooldown reduction on last rights is making that thing available every time pretty much. trying to get something done here against Lauber, but they just can't break through this. Henning is having their back the entire time with the healing wards. Now there's a single altar on the map that's going to spawn soon. Portibus goes in and tries to connect the drag, but also Malthael is on the way too. And he has obviously last rites ready again. I mean, the entire time he can just run this thing. And he's just the one that is being sent down to the bottom to channel the altar. And that's going to be 8 points against 18. Single digits for nothing left. Ooh, the 4-man ley line. Ooh, linked. Ty is trying to get the kill, but he can't. Blink kidney. Last rites, baby. Last rites, baby. Is he going to find him? We're going to find out soon. He actually seems like he's able to escape. He wants that kill so badly right now. Look at Malthael. Look at this. Nicely done. Junkrat, good job. Good job by Blink Kidney here. God, he was so... Oh. Okay, Lauber gets out. Yeah, he so wanted to have that 5th stack. You know it. He was just looking for it. He was like, 5 more seconds. Give me the cooldown reduction. And Junkrat's like, nope, not today. I'm out of here. Big engage, but nobody dying. Like a 4-man ley line and nobody actually falling behind it. Also because of Linked here with another stay a while and listen. They're going again for Lauber. Loses the army because of that. But it's level 20 talents. They're going for YOLO mode. And yep, there we go. Once again, trying to break through. The entire time they're trying to take that bell tower. And the entire time they're getting wrecked. They're starting to poke it down slowly with Junkrat and also with Odin, but it is such a thorn in their side. Nothing left, want the control again. 5-man ley line. If the 4-man can't do it, then the 5-man will. They're getting 1 kill, they're getting 2. The last rides doesn't drop Tigers, but the double kill is all that they need here. This is likely going to be 8. That's 5 points that they get off the court just simply by grabbing the altar in another 10 seconds. And it looks like Junkrat might even fall too. Yeah, they're going in deep for this one. Deep into the death zone. They get the kill. And that is an absolute unmitigated disaster. 3 potential points against the core on the bottom. 1 channels here. The rest goes to the boss. And you have a GG at your hands. At this point, you need an incredible miracle to come back into this. You need those StarCraft reflexes. And yeah, the old man doesn't have that. A little bit too old for that. There's the full wipe as we are seeing Granit Gaming taking the lead in the best of 5 here at Meta Madness. Nothing left. They have no points left on the core as the final few hits come in through the minions, through the pumpkins, and that is game. Granit Gaming with a 2-1. Alright everybody, game number 4 is coming up. Tomb of the Spider Queen. We could have our 5 mapper here, and we are heading straight into the next map, Tomb of the Spider Queen. It's gonna be good. The ban on Junkrat immediately doesn't really surprise that we're gonna see that. And obviously we've already been talking about Medivh, and yes, he gets immediately deleted. No more Medivh for Swamp Grotta. They had more than enough of that. Zul gets banned out too. Tomb of Spider Queen, of course, hinging a lot on the wave clear that you need there. And the last ban in this rotation, Arthur's the tank. That leaves us with the Stitches as a potential first pick, and he gets immediately picked because there's nothing left anymore. You have a couple of offlaners and you have kind of Varian hinging in the middle somewhere. Gul'dan gets picked. Great for the wave clear here, obviously. But what else are they going to get in that first rotation? What is that tank going to be? Are you going to play with Varian here? Are you going to play an Uther tank, as we've seen with the double support a little bit earlier today? Or is that going to be a completely different setup? Deckard Cain comes in again for Linked. They're taking the old man again. I mean, at this point, honestly, if you're Granit Gaming and you're heading into the 3rd ban, you can just ban another potential frontliner. Because, well, they're really running out of options at this point. They're honestly running out of options. Map number 4, and we had such a huge focus on the front line that there's not really a lot left in this setup. So with that said, let's have a look. Rhaegar and Kel'Thas, alright. Salami. Let's go. Kel'Thas Stitches. Hook into Gravity Labs. and the damage output. I like it. I actually like it. Good map for Khaldor too. Obviously, a lot of the other mages have been banned out by now, or picked away. That brings us into the ban. What do you get rid of here? Offlane? Yeah, Malthael. No more Malthael in this game. And from Granit Gaming, I want to see another frontline ban. Ban out any hero that you think is going to tank on the side of your opponent. Ban out that Varian if you want. Ban out Uther if you think they're playing a double support with Uther on the front line. And they're probably just going through the list and they're thinking, okay, what exactly can they play? What would we play? What's the hero that we feel can tank in this situation? And there's not really a lot left. Alarak. They ban Alarak. Alright, Alarak eliminated. Urel and Leoric. Main tank Urel. Main tank Urel. No, Zadoon is currently on Leoric, so Leoric main tank. It's going to be an interesting setup. I mean, you're really running out of main tanks here. We don't have a traditional main tank left outside of Stitches. Everyone has been banned out. Varian, not really a traditional main tank. Not by any means. So yeah, last two picks here for Granit Gaming after we have Khaldor already. Sonya and Greymane. Alright. Sonya and Greymane. Sonya was actually banned in the previous series quite often. This is the first one where she actually goes through for the bot lane. And Stormquarter here on Greymane were the last pick. What are we gonna see? A little bit more range damage would be a nice thing here. Then again, if you have a triple front line, then maybe it doesn't matter too much that you don't have a proper main tank and you could go for something else here. Mephisto! Black Kidney playing Mephisto here in game number 4. And that's the setup, that's the team composition that Nothing Left is going to rely upon to try and tie the series once again to force game number 5. So let's head into Tomb of the Spider Queen and see if that works out. Game number 4, map number 4, Tomb of the Spider Queen, and we are good and ready to roll. On the left side with a double mage setup with 2 bruisers instead of main tanks. We have Nothing Left with Podibos on Urel, Zadoon on Leoric, Gurun Gul'dan, Black Kidney on Mephisto, and we're seeing Linked on Deckard Cain. On the right side of the map with the first pick on Stitches, because he's the only main tank left, is Lauber. We're having Swamp Grotta on Greymane. His Medivh got immediately shut down in the ban phase. Henning on Rhaegar. We have Tai on Kalthas and Fury on Sonya. So they're making it into this for the first time here. Absolutely fantastic setup. Guys, already I can't wait for tomorrow, to be honest with you. The final day of Meta Madness should be crazy, considering how close a lot of these games were already today. Can't wait for that to happen too. Especially since teams, of course, are going now, after day number 1, start thinking a little bit about how they can maybe exploit that particular rule set to cause something like a big choke in terms of tanks, like we're seeing in this case from Granit Gaming. Having Sonya in the game is kind of funny as well. I mean, she was so dominant for such a long time in the meta, and then has pretty much completely fallen off. She was the hero to take on Infernal Shrines, and then replaced by others that just were a little bit better. And once again, Lauber coming in here. Mephisto. Oh, Linked! Oh, with the big one. Linked with a lockdown here. The big seal. And that was very, very solid here. Sick city, my friend. Good job, and they get the first kill. Stitches goes down. And well, down to the bottom of the map, we're currently having Fury still holding his position. We're seeing 6 stacks, of course, from Gul'dan now too. And they're very cool on dependent, obviously, since they're running 2 tanks at this... two thingies. Mages. Exactly. In Germany we call them Zauberschlamm. On this lineup, so you're very, very cooldown heavy and cooldown focused. You won't really be able to roll around auto attacks. That's something where maybe Urel can help out a little bit. Gul'dan and the boys are currently going for the bruiser camp here, trying to take that one down. Same on the other side, so it's pretty much in equilibrium anyways. I mean, they're going to cancel each other out at this point. And, well, bot lane, Fury with a sustain against Urel. To be honest, as far as we are talking about missing a main tank, I feel like the setup with Urel and Leoric is probably one of the best that you can have. The damage reduction through Leoric, you have at the same time Potibus then on Urel, who's still pretty tanky. So I kind of think that works out for them. Already in the middle, again, the big damage output, but Tai is also doing a lot of work here with Khaldor. Ashalanore Salami! And Mephisto is dead. Mephisto down. Leo at least survives. Mephisto's carcass is getting trampled here by Stitches. No respect whatsoever. Potibus just again with a get the hell out of my space move. 10 stacks so far on Gul'dan. And yeah, blue team, I mean, yes, they took a death right now, but they're turning in again. Oh, maybe not. Time moves in, so it's like, wait a second, someone's missing. Let's double check what's happening here. Alright. This is gonna be a good one. I wouldn't mind a 5th game, like not at all, guys. I tell you, these two teams have been absolutely on point so far. Absolutely on point. So with that, having still Blakidney sitting right there, trying to get a little bit of extra value out, expecting that hook, of course, the entire time. I mean, every time we play against the Stitches, it's the most anxiety-inducing thing ever. That every time you don't expect it, that hook just comes out of left field and starts bodying you. Talking about bodying someone, Swamgrotta eats a lot of damage here as Blakidney is able to work his magic. Up at the top, the turn-in attempt, but this hook misses and Zadoon is finally able to turn in. 35 against 0 confirmed gems. Lauber is able to keep himself alive here, but he's definitely suffering at that front line. They're currently bodying quite a bit whenever he starts moving forward. The hooks are not quite connecting the way that they want to. Blue Web Weavers are now also descending. They're doing really well. They're doing really well this early in the game. Got the turn-in, got the earlier kill. Still pretty even experience here when we're looking at the two. Level 7 abilities, that gives us burnt flesh on the side of Tai. I mean, the follow-ups that we are seeing from him are of course always solid there with the gravity lapse, but still he needs the hook as a setup first. Also, you look over at his stacks on level 1, he's sitting at 15, one of the big, huge benefits of playing that hero on Tomb of the Spider Queen. Getting access to those worlds a little bit quicker. And that said, gas the armor on Mephisto after level 4 with a static barrier. Dancing with the Lightning Nova once again around and just zoning everybody out nicely. It also creates a lot of space, by the way, for Gul'dan to just do his own thing and try and stack his base, his level 1 quest. And so far we're sitting at 18 stacks, which isn't too bad for Guru. And a lot of the focus that you would usually expect on Gul'dan is currently not there, because Mephisto is just grabbing most of the attention here. They're doing well with this. They're locking Stitches down again. Can't really get the kill just now. Swamgrotta in the base backline is starting to absolutely rack. Yeah, he's trying to get the kill here, but with Henning moving in too, there's just no way to survive. He himself barely gets out, but to be honest, without the help of Rhaegar, I think Gul'dan wouldn't even have died. So in terms of damage output, it's not as much as you would expect. The wall is broken through in the middle. At the top lane, they at least pulled it down to half HP. It's the bot lane that has really suffered the most. I mean, here the fort has taken half on damage already. I mean, with that done, we're having still mid lane Zadoon ready here for a little bit more action. They grabbed also most of the gems that were still there. But obviously, talking gems, we're seeing the red team with a massive amount right now that they can utilize to just simply move in and get their own turn in. Always assuming Lauber doesn't fall, and Lauber dies indeed. Now Swamgrotta is trying to pick up as many gems as he can, and he gets basically all of them. Great job by Greymane. Extremely well done by him. That was a big one. If they lost all of those, that would be an issue. By the way, talking about losing gems, damn, they are under so much pressure. Fury, that's not enough. Gets locked down, but they can't close the distance to get the kill here. If they had level 10 already, Guru would have been ready with the Horrify. He would have had the Horrify and just simply dropped them completely there. Blakidney is currently sitting in the mid lane. They're all just soaking experience to get the level 10, and they have it. And now, of course, that's where we're going to see some Horrify value. And this is really where I want to also see the synergy that they have. We see, again, the Durance of Hate. We already had that once right now. And if you're able to spread the damage with Mephisto and with Gul'dan, just having that AoE and also that damage over time, and then you finish it off with Durance of Hate, you can get a lot there for sure. Just a lockdown alone. They're having a lot of good setups with this. So now once again, hooks coming in from Lauber. Lauber isn't really connecting as many hooks as you would want from a Stitches player at this point. It's also that Nothing Left always expects it. It's a bit too telegraphed, and they're always dodging the hooks whenever they come out. And as I say, there's of course the Gorge. I mean, what else? Look at that reaction! Look at that reaction! The Entomb and the Horrifier, instantaneous! But we see double kill. No, we see only Leo fall. The double kill goes the other way as Stitches and Sonya die. Rhaegar dies too. Perfect. Absolutely perfect here. What a fantastic reaction from Nothing Left. For a moment it looked like Tai might be able to change the outcome of it alone. With just dropping the AoE there. But that didn't quite work out. What a setup. Nothing Left absolutely bodied that fight. And seriously, the second the hook and the Gorge come through, Horrify, Entomb, and get wrecked. Everybody was ready for it. And they just murdered it. And now they can turn in again. This, by the way, is a little bit of a meme that we have down there at the bot lane, but obviously it's going to fall now that the minions make their way over. Level 12 versus 11. But they are starting to get the turn in down at the bottom. Yeah, there's 12 turned in. They still need a few more though. That fight continues on the other hand. Yeah, there's the ult. There's also the Tornado. Pushing. Gorge comes in against Mephisto still. They might still be able to get the kill here. Entomb against 4 against 5. The 5-man Entomb. Is that a good thing? Is that a bad thing? I don't even know. I know that Swamp Grottar dying would be a really bad thing for the red team. They already lost Rhaegar. They're about to lose, Sonya. And that little B-step there didn't do anything. I think at this point Granit Gaming is accepting that this is not going to be an easy comeback for them. At least Sonya in that case accepted her fate and realized that that would not end with her living. So yeah, a quick solid B-step. Can appreciate that. But now we're having 37 stacks on Gul'dan's level 1. Now we have another Webweaver wave coming through. We have a lead with the level and Nothing Left. They won game 5. They're not the only ones. I know a couple of thousand people that are watching this right now that won game 5 too. Let's just put it like that. Must feel pretty bad for Granit Gaming when you know that probably even some of your fans are hoping this goes to game 5. I actually think that at this point a lot of these guys are just watching. Granit Gaming fans are like, I really want them to lose. I want them to win in game 5. Can they win in game 5? Nice ult there from Urel. Good timing. Yeah, here comes again the big hit against Linked Pyro, and no. And in the meantime, we're seeing Lauber already dropping really low. Yeah, he should not get out of this. First of all, Kalthas is falling. Now Stitches is dead. Urel jumped in. There's the quest completed on Gul'dan as we're seeing Sonya fall. And the Webweavers are now just everywhere. Top lane is murdered by the Webweaver. Yep, that fort is... Grayman is trying to save it, but that fort is currently just getting wrecked. And down at the bottom of the map, as you can see right now, we are going to have the massive push straight up for the keep itself. 10 kills against 3, a 2-level advantage at this point. Even with a level 13 talents, what are you going to do right now? You're losing 2 keeps. It's not like you're only losing 1. It's 10 minutes and you just lost 2 keeps. Oh, that on the other hand was sexy as hell. What a damage setup. But it's still Lauber that falls. Was a good thought, but it's the wrong hero from their perspective that survives through that. So now we're having again Fury on the run here with Sonya. That just doesn't work at all for him. He's able to get away. But in the meantime, the 2 forts are down and Guru just doesn't show any mercy. So they're like, yeah, you're dead. Gets popped like a pimple. And now with 16 talents on the board, we're of course having massive leads. Blikidli might actually die, and indeed he does. There's a nice chunk of experience for Nothing Left. They're trying to get a bit more. This from Goda moving in again, but keep in mind there's still a couple of other heroes around. There's already the Tornado that didn't really do what it was supposed to. Bodipos is able to jump away regardless. Yeah, 16 is in, and that means Ruinous Affliction, of course. Already, bot lane getting pushed. Top lane has also lost the fort itself. So now the entire map is open. 12 kills against 4. That would be a pretty sick comeback if Granit Gaming can pull that off. They're trying to. They can steal the camp away, maybe. Lauber is going to move in. There's the Pyro, and as we're already used to, it does nothing. And again, that's a 3-man Entomb. Jesus Christ. Double kill against Kalthas and Rhaegar. Zadoon, can you just calm down? What the hell is wrong with you? That was a 5-man entomb, a 3-man entomb, and 2 4-man entombs that we've seen so far. And they go for a full team wipe. Someone needs to nerf the Dune here. This is not funny any longer. It's like he pulls the heroes in. It's like he has Li Ming's old S of Johann talent somehow comboed with the Entomb and then somehow sucking those heroes in, but this is starting to get nasty. So yeah, thanks to the Web Weavers, we're actually not seeing the game end just yet. It's a little bit too early too, which means the death time is obviously low. But yeah, they have with another big wipe taken such a massive lead. This is the 3-level lead right now. And the Web Weavers have of course done absolutely nothing. With 56 gems, they're pretty much 4 away from getting another turn-in for themselves, and it's kind of likely that that turn-in would also end the game here, which is of course what they're aiming for here. Lauber is actually thinking about the opponent maybe even doing the boss, but yeah, there are the turn-ins. Slowly and steadily, one after another. The Dune alone holds 28 right now. He holds 28 at this point. They're getting at least this one. Actually, are they? I don't think so. This looks like we might even see a kill against Rhaegar. Henning is low, barely gets out of this one. Yep, Link wants it. Fury goes down, and the dog dies too, as we have Urel pouncing. Now there's a Gorge, but what are you going to do with that Gorge? That's the Horrifier, as Guro just shuts that play attempt down. Svamgrotta is also getting swiped to the face, and with 4 down, the Web Weavers aren't even needed. Guys, we're going to see Game 5. We are going to see Game 5, the final map in the series. We are going to see 41 heroes banned for the final and 5th map, as the teams have to struggle for a new team composition. Nothing Left wins on Tomb of the Spider Queen and forces the best of 5 to go the full distance. Alright everyone, it's time for map 5. We have Sky Temple, Nothing Left against Granit Gaming, and we are going to end up in a match where we have 41 heroes banned. What do you ban at this point? Is Stitch just going to be banned as the remaining tank here? Do you ban the Lost Vikings? It's Sky Temple. So what globals do we still have? Dehaka is still up, could ban him, could take him too. Urel gets banned, that's the first thing that happens. Don't want to deal with her anymore. And first, Samuro gets banned too. Okay, I completely forgot that we still have him here. It's all about controlling the map at this point. And you have first pick, of course, on the side of Granit Gaming again. So they can let Stitches through if they want him as the main tank here. They have the choice to go for whatever frontline they desire here. Oh yeah, what else are you going to ban now? Are the Vikings getting banned? That's my question at this point, because they can still control the map. If you want to play the macro game, it's Cassia instead, focusing on the damage. Nothing Left. The final map. I'm so happy that we actually went into the 5th map here. And Sonya gets banned out too. Alright, no more Sonya here. Okay, Illidan. The first pick, Illidan. And Greymane Gul'dan. Snap picks right there. Greymane Gul'dan taken. And with Illidan, what do we have? What are they playing here? Tacita is up. They could play Tacita. Tacita was not banned. What's it gonna be now? And of course we have more bans coming in, 2 more after this. Rhaegar Ophir. Alright, alright. Tie again on Ophir. That was good earlier. And now they're gonna go for the next ban. I mean, you don't need tank if you're playing with Illidan here. This is getting a bit dicey. There's still a lot of specialists out there that could also run one of those solo lanes. Whew. When Varian gets banned out. Alright, Varian eliminated. Last ban for this series. What are we gonna see Granit Gaming get rid of? Dehaka, yes! The global. Take the global out at this point. I like that. Okay, so what do we have in terms of picks? What's coming in from Nothing Left right now? Supports are still needed. We have plenty of supports. We can use plenty of supports here, but the damage output that they have is actually nasty with Greymane and Gul'dan. It's actually brutal. There's Uther. Uther, Greymane. Oh, Uther, Greymane, Kharazim. Frontline Uther. Zadoon on Uther here. And we're having Kharazim together with that too. The double support setup with the stuns from Uther. They're going for it. They're playing it. The Uther main tank comes in again. What makes Uther a good main tank? Well, if no tank is left anymore, then you go Uther. Illidan needs to be careful. This could actually be a Divine Storm too. This should be a Divine Storm, you could argue. Unless you really want to empower Greymane with the Divine Shield. D.Va! D.Va and Sylvanas. Alright, it's time, boys. It's time. D.Va, Sylvanas, and we have Uther, Kharazim on the other side. What's the last pick? What are we going to see as the last pick here from Nothing Left? It's the final pick. The final pick in this setup. This is for the marbles. Who wins the series? Who takes it? God, Chen. Nice. Nice. The War Master himself graces us with his presence. This can only be moments before Blizzard comes in with another nerf. Chen was actually picked. We can't have that. And Sky Temple is the map, ladies and gentlemen. Let's head into game number 5 in the series between Nothing Left and Granit Gaming here at Meta Madness. Ooh, this is gonna be good. Oh, this is gonna be good. Alright, let's go, boys. Let's go. It's the final map and an immediate pause. I'm gonna wait that out. Yeah, I'm gonna wait that pause out. It's the final map, ladies and gentlemen, and we have 41 heroes banned. And that leads us into Sky Temple, where we have on the left side Portibos on Chen, Zadoon on Uther, Blake Kidney on Greymane, Guru on Gul'dan, and Linked on Kharazim. And to the right side, Lauba on D.Va, Henning on Rhaegar, Tai on Orphea, Swamgrota on Sylvanas with a stacking on level 1, and Fury on Illidan. It's a beautiful, beautiful setup that we have here. How can you play main tank Chen? Well, you give him 2 supports to support him here. Honestly, it's actually Zadoon that's on the tank player that's on Uther, as you would expect, but yeah, they're going straight in against Swamgrota, who's attempting to stack here, of course. Lauba on D.Va. It's going to be a lot of fun. I expect a lot of interesting moments in this one. But yeah, as it stands, obviously, the Globals got banned out pretty quickly. Could have seen one team make an attempt to play, well, maybe with the Vikings around somewhere here. But so far that hasn't happened. It's Fat Illidan against Illidan, pretty much, if you think about it. Both of them a little bit jumpy these days. Yeah, good damage from Guru. Good stacks for him too. Gets 2 in. Tai has played fantastic in this series so far. And this is obviously about who advances to the winner bracket final, who goes up against Team Russia in a best of 5 tomorrow. That's what we have to wait and see. But yeah, with that said, we're currently still looking at camps being taken, and of course Sylvanas is going to give you a little bit momentum on this one too. If you can at any point get the boss and maybe try to escort it to the bot lane, Sylv can disable the structures. But if Swamgrota does a good job stacking his one, you can get insane damage out with Sylvanas. We've actually seen this in some of the earlier matches where Sylvanas was picked. Illidan also, of course, fighting it out here with Blake Kidney all the way up at the top. Fury has to be careful with this. Illidan always a little bit of a weird one. Double support going for the camp here on the left side, as we have on the right, Henning together with Swamgrota doing the exact same thing. Yeah, it's going to be a spicy one. No doubt about that. It's actually going to be really tricky to also like kill anybody on the side of nothing left. And Illidan himself has to be very careful of the stuns that are coming out of Uther, especially if he goes into the Divine Storm. Which is an option, for sure. I actually think it's a great option here, especially if you go Palm on Karasim. There's a couple of different things that you can do with this setup. Yeah, down at the bottom here. Oh, Tai is bodying Polyboss right now. You have to be a bit careful there. It's an interesting setup. Panda against Orphea. Not quite something that you see a lot. Guys, this is madness. Okay, that was a weak one, but I had to throw it in at least once. Temple's activating, and with that, we're now having massive focus here at the top lane. I can't believe that Lauba is a diva. Like, that alone as a pick is just absolutely great. I could have seen them with something else here, but yeah. Down to the bottom of the map, Polyboss, as it turns out, doesn't hold a candle to Orphea. Tai is getting the damage in against Blakidney as well, and is really rocking it here. He's doing well with that. Escorting the waves in. We're currently having also top side, mid side, both taken by different teams, so it's an exchange in shots that we currently experience here. Down to the bottom of the map, Tai is still doing his thing, trying to stay as far away from Blakidney as possible, and Coffin Girl is getting the damage out. Only 4 stacks, by the way, on Swampgrotha so far. Swampgrotha has a bit of a problem. The problem is there's nothing happening in terms of brawls, or very little. He's trying to get at least a few stacks against Polyboss here. Blakidney himself is also escaping. Yeah, Swampgrotha gets a few in. There's not a lot of brawling happening. So far it's just an even divide between temples that we have. You see middle going over to Granit Gaming, the top taken by the opponent. Now here comes the move again, trying to stack a little bit harder, especially against Zadoon, who's getting completely body blocked out of this. But it's Swampgrotha who goes down. Zadoon survives the first blood in the game, goes to nothing left. And Lauba, oh, Lauba actually survives. They kill Khaldor, they kill Uther, and they turn the team fight around. But it looked for more than only a moment as if D.Va would die too. Talking about D.Va dying, Lauba still needs to be careful. He's not quite out of this yet. Down to 1 hit point, drops out. Polyboss is trying to go back in. Ooh, Greymane! Greymane and Polyboss, both of them are low. And you know that Fury wants to go in. He's an Illidan player. And for some reason, Shen decides to suicide. Alright, Fury gets his kill, and Illidan is now appeased for the time being. Nice, Fender 4 allows him to jump out there too. And they're going straight back in. 3 kills against 1. What started with a kill against Granit Gaming actually was, at the end of the day, a positive trade for them, where they were able to get 3 kills against 1 and slightly ahead right now, and a few more shots fired towards the middle. Well, that's it. We're still seeing Swampgrotha not really getting too many stacks here on his level 1. He went full dagger build, Unfurling Shadows into the Unstable Poison, lost Soul here as well, and currently just trying to get as much damage out as he can, but obviously simply taking the waves here, taking the mercenaries, trying to also empower pushes later on with the potential boss is another big tool in the belt here for them. So for him it's going to be important to try and, at least towards the later stage of the game, get a little bit more stacks together than he could so far. But a lot of these fights have very quickly turned against him actually. Talking Illidan and Uther. Uther at the top is currently winning that little battle here. Granted, he's cheating a little bit because he has assistance for all of these minions and Fury doesn't have a fountain anymore. So he can't really go close. Tries it for now. There's the stun. And Fury, you kind of made a mistake right there. He barely gets out. That Uther is pretty deadly. Going into that guy when he has a stun ready is probably not the smartest move there. But still, lives for now. So with Zadoon still moving around, we have the rest of the team focusing again on the mercenaries. Level 10 abilities already. And we've actually seen Tai with amazing value from the Jaws earlier in previous games, especially looking over to, I think it was Towers of Doom, which has absolutely rock and rolled it. Ancestral Healing, disappointing the few that thought it would be Bloodlust. And we're having, of course, Bunny Hop. Bunny Hop taken. No Hunt. Instead it's Metamorphosis. Storm, Earth and Fire for Chen. No Kek. No Kek, no GG. I don't know. It's not kegging around. We have no Hunt, we have no Kek. It's a disappointing game. It's a disappointing game. Well, not really, but we'll see. The push in the bot lane as we have the temples activating again, and that's of course going to be the first big one here. Quest completed. There's the Horrify, there's the bomb as well, zoning them out, and they're getting the kill against Karazim. Nicely done. Look at that, big boy Lauber with a big boy explosion, completely zoning off the wall here and netting them a kill against the support player. Well done. On the bottom of the map, full control. Greymane, top side, is still trying to push this out, wasn't even here for that. 4 kills against 1 now. Granit Gaming is starting off well. But look at Sylvanas. Sylvanas is not going to be able to stack a lot here. The way that the entire fights have been going, this is not going to do a lot of work for him. But again, if you have Sylvanas and you take a boss, for example, you get so much additional value out of it. And on this map, one of the most important things is that you take down structures without the help of the objective. If you are able to accomplish that, you will always get value there. Yeah, wow, he actually gets away. The better safe than sorry Ancestral, I like that. But Swamp I went in a little bit too deep and nearly got punished for it. So now the cooldown has to be used. Fury is still dealing with the top lane here, after we've seen the fort taken down. And if you look at experience, I mean, despite the fact of the bottom fort going down, oh my god, what? That's an early boss that they're fighting over. Who the hell triggered that? How did that come into play? Okay, we're YOLOing, boys. We're YOLOing hard. We are YOLOing really hard here. D.Va is there. Oh, gets tornadoed. Oh, D.Va gets wrecked by the tornado. The boss is down, so is D.Va. And Illidan comes in, tries to make the play. Fury gets wrecked. Fury gets wrecked and the boss gets taken. And all of a sudden, nothing left is back in this. They get a triple kill out of it. The tornado wrecked D.Va. Lauber got obliterated by that thing. He got ready and said, guys, it's going to be easy. I'm going to push them off the board. Just care for the Horrify from Gul'dan and we're fine. And then all of a sudden that tornado comes in and just absolutely murders him. And now the rest of them is getting murdered too. Henning is trying to be safe behind a fort, but that's not the case if you have an opponent that is not afraid of diving in deep. And that's exactly what they did. All of a sudden, nothing left is far ahead. They've taken the second structure of the game. They've taken the second fort. They're moving down through the bottom right now, dropping the wall, focusing straight onto the middle. Double temple is also happening at this point. Things are starting to get a little bit grim for Granit Gaming. 4 kills against 1. That's where we were just before that fight on the boss, and now the entire dynamic has shifted. Nothing left is all of a sudden ahead. By not only a level, but also from a structural point of view. And they're getting more and more camps on the map now. Boss has been defended. They're going for the Siege Giants here. 15 stacks only for Sylvanas, as Boss is just going to take that top temple here. Drink, my friend. Enjoy the game. That's exactly what he's doing. That's going to be another drop against the fort in the middle. Passive experience is going to start stacking up for them. And they're starting to push the top lane. With the opponent focused on the bottom of the map, that top lane is undefended right now. And they have the minion wave coming in with it already. So there's Sylvanas. Ophia is coming too, but that's only 2 heroes against 4. That's something we're not going to be too afraid. Okay, Lauber comes in, Henning comes in too. They saw what was happening and started to Hearthstone back. But that's still a free wall that you just got. That's a free wall, and that means that the top is attacking the keep already. Now again, he's only going to get a couple more shots out of this, so it's not like he can drop the keep with that. But that hurts. And that hurts quite a bit. And from a structural perspective, once again, we're seeing nothing left super far ahead. And they also have a big lead in experience, which is going to translate into the earlier level 16 talent. Another big problem for them here. Ty is still sitting in the middle here. Let's have another quick look at the damage output. 20,000. Okay, they're trying to body boss. Silence is in, and they go for it, and they should know the Divine Shield keeps him alive. Storm, Earth, and Fire, baby. There's the explosion. Horrify is being used too. They're trying to go for Lauber. Won't be able to get him here, but they keep Chen alive, and that was a great play here again. Just as the silence comes through with the Wailing Arrow, the Divine Shield is ready. Zadoon with the play. Right there. The main tank on Uther. And he's getting it done. 16 is there. They have it. Sitting now with level 6. And they have Sylvanas. Where the hell did that happen? Okay. With another rest of the fire. Bunny hop. But Lauber. Yeah. Ooh. This is starting to get nasty. Nothing left. They were behind in the series. It was a 1-2 in favor of Granit Gaming, but it looks like we might actually see Nothing Left win this. At least the momentum is in their favor, and they're going for the keep now too. Already with the 16 talents, we're having the Ruinous Affliction. Now granted, he hasn't completed the stacks at level 1 yet, so we don't see the Echoed Corruption in play, but they get that keep regardless. Shen is bot side and defense, and the keep is down. Keep is down, they are still more than a level ahead, and obviously the 16 talents are now finally ready for Granit Gaming too. But they are trailing behind, by quite a bit I might add. In terms of kills, it's 7 against 4 now. We're having talents picked, which especially on the side of Illidan gives us now the Blades of Azeroth. Needs to try to get the damage in, evasive fire. We're still getting 12 minutes in the game by the way, and Sylvanas only has 17 stacks on the level 1. For the Unfurling Shadows, that is just not enough. That is not gonna do anything for you here. And again, I can definitely give Swampgrota the benefit of the doubt here. I don't think he plays Sylvanas a lot. That's usually not played on the level where he plays. Normally you have a few more heroes available to you that you can pick from, but with 41 banned out, that starts to limit the pool quite aggressively. Yeah, Fury down here still fighting. Sylvanas again gets the Ancestral and survives for now. The problem is that now the heal is missing for Fury. Great move actually with the Metamorphosis, able to jump out. But they're still fighting for this. There's the explosion and another quick move with the mech. But look at Illidan. Fury has a problem. Oh, Tai! Ah, nicely done. He gets Karazim, but Illidan falls, but Uther's dead too. The double support is eliminated. No more supports. Greymane dies too. Tai is murdering people here. Tai is absolutely murdering them. And he himself is low. The problem is that they are dying as well. Gul'dan finally falls, and it's a 2-for-1 as Potipos is the only survivor. But look at Henning. He's starting to run out of mana and out of hit points, but they get Shen. What a slaughter. What an absolute slaughter in that fight here at the bottom of the map. They're going for the temple and are starting to drop at least the wall down at the bottom key, but holy cow. Game number 5 and the full clown fiesta is unfolding right in front of us. Everybody dead and dying. It looks like Nothing Left takes the team fight. Granit Gaming turns it around, loses another 2 in the process though as well. And we're all of a sudden having both of the teams on pretty even experience. Bit of a lead still for Nothing Left. But the more important part is, oh yeah baby, we have the boss up. And what do you do when the boss is up on the map? You take it. That's exactly what they're trying here. It's a 5 versus 3 for now. They should be able to grab it. They honestly should be able to grab it. Yeah, Chen isn't there and they can't move in and they know it too. So great timing here. This might be the comeback. Guys, this might be the comeback. They actually might be able to do this now. Boss is taken. 20 is not there yet, and they have Sylvanas. Are they going to move down to the bottom of the map with Syl? I love this though. They're actually trying to pressure core even with this a bit. So they're stealing this away. Sylvanas is moving back. Boss is on the bot lane, starting to make its way over. The wall is already gone there. Sylv has to defend. And what about those two? Okay, they're both hearthing. Yeah. Oh, no, they're not. The kidney is there, but there's actually 4. Whoa, everybody goes in. They don't want to fight. They know that level 20 is going to be there in just a few seconds for Nothing Left, so they're not risking anything. They're saying, hey, we removed the boss as an obstacle from the map. They can't run it, but if we try and go for the keep now, they might just turn it around us, dive us behind the boss, and with level 20 talents rack us. So they played super safe. It's actually a pretty respectable decision, to be honest with you. And of course a lot of it was forced by Nothing Left too, as they put the pressure onto the top lane and threatened to start dropping the core here. And Greymane, if unchecked, can do a lot in that setup. So yeah, 35,000 damage on Ophia, 33,000 Gul'dan. It's a bit of a trap that they have there. Yeah, but it's immediately found out. They're starting to jump in though. There's silence, and that's cooldowns burn. They didn't get value. They didn't get anything here. Now they need to move away. That's 2 cooldowns down already. Actually, it's 1. I'm trying to go for Uther here, but that didn't work out. Single temple on the top. Single temple. Not quite dropping the middle keep if it goes over. I actually don't. It's a double temple. My bad. Didn't see the second one spawning here. Alright. So 1-for-1 trade for now. Let's see what this team can get. Nothing. This is actually giving them more value than the temple itself. If that is gonna left unchecked, just simply moving through the bottom of the map, it's eventually going to result in them getting at least a keep out of it. But there's a massive push out once again to get that camp a little bit closer. Lauba is already retreating here. But yeah, bot side, are they sending someone back to defend, or are they just simply taking the fight? It's 20 versus 20 right now. Sylvanas is another 30 seconds away from getting her ult back though. And top side has to be defended eventually. But yeah, this down here is also getting value. And Illidan is actually starting to move in for that. Now keep in mind, he has Metamorphosis, so he can still jump out if something happens. But he won't be able to just hunt away. They're giving up both of those shrines right now, or temples. That's actually problematic. That could drop the keep here. It should drop the keep. In the meantime, Illidan is going in and is making sure that at least one keep at the bot side is also gone. But he can't hunt in. He can't hunt in, and there's the Horrifiers. They're starting to go for it, and Rhaegar's dead. Rhaegar is down. No Ancestral, no nothing. Rhaegar can't even self-Ancestral. He's horrified and goes down, and that's the second kill. Ophir is dead. Bunny Hop comes through. Illidan is going core. Illidan is going core at this point in time. They feel it's the only play that they can make. He's going core. The problem is everybody else is too. But they're going for a different one. So it's a core race. It's a core race right now. But again, there's Sylvanas trying to get them back. Oh, it's too much. Greymane is dead though. Greymane is dead. Can they get more kills? It doesn't matter. The core drops and nothing left. Wins the best of 5 yet Meta Madness. GG, well played as they take Sky Temple.